there's some people doing some postcard stuff. There's probably a few different groups doing it, but also just direct mail in general. How do you what are some, first of all, what needs to happen in order to make that effective? Like, I know you got to be able to fund it. You got to have the money to get the postcards, but like, what do you put on the postcards? Where do you send them to? Like, what are some ways around postcards?
Well,
Or
with
direct mail in general?
obviously, I think what would be the most effective is repeated. Obviously they're getting it to the mail. That's straight to their house. That's the best way. But I think repeating it will be even more effective to the same places. The postcards in general, you want to have something popping, right? Why do I want this? First thing, boom, 38%, or at least, on signs or something bold where you can read it, hex.com. They don't even need to see the 38% when they're driving by. They just need to read hex.com quick. The postcards were actually created before I came along. It's actually a pretty funny story how I got involved with hex postcards. And so I had been trying to start my own little Northern Virginia DMV thing. I got the site somewhat working on it, called DMV Hex, and I had bought my signs. I had my boy who owns the clothing line make me some gear, get some samples and stuff, and I just kind of started doing that. And then Hex Postcards put out a tweet to get some eyeballs on it, saying that Rack had donated $1 million towards the postcards, right? And everybody's like, what? And I was like, cool, send me some and I'll get you to all the most expensive zip codes basically in America, or at least the zip codes and the neighborhoods here. And here is, Washington, D.C., DMV area. That's, I think, 6 of the top 20 richest places in the nation, richest counties. And I don't remember if it was Davin or Togash was like, well, why don't you just buy some and then send them on out? And I'm like, if you just got $1 million donation, just send them to me. So I joined the group from there. And we were like, I don't know. It was like, there wasn't any animosity with that. It was just, hey, Philip stepped in and was like, boom, sent him. Because Philip's the printer. He's the man that gets all of it done. Togash is our dev, who's way too smart and fast for me.
Yeah.
Vic and Davin are like, Davin just put another $1,500 towards Hex postcards. But all these funds, they're just gonna go to us printing more and more and more. And what we're working on right now is really cool. Is a little birdie came by and dropped a nice little, I don't know if it was a spreadsheet or what, I believe it was, but it has all of Celsius users, right?
No.
And we think that we've got a good way to sort all of the data. And Togash is a beast, and he's just been working left and right doing that. But we still need a little bit of help with queries, which we're working on. We can get some free codes to do up to 1,000. We're looking at buying software, but we want to reach out to these people, right? Because I suspect a lot of them are hurting right now. Yeah, of course, some of them are going to be like, I'm never getting into crypto again, but others are who maybe not completely wrecked, right? Fucking Mashinsky, piece of shit. But
well, how do you actually send these things? Like, do you just get a bunch of people on Fiverr?
Well, there's a few ways to do that as well. It depends on if you get the postcard sent to you and you want to distribute, or you could just donate. But what we do is, what I'm doing is, I'll get the postcards, and on USPS.com, you can sort by zip code. It'll show you how much they make, etc. You know, the median house income, etc. And you can do electronic direct mail, and up to 5,000 per order, which is each neighborhood that or mail route is about 250 houses. Those run 80 to 100 bucks each. So it could do it either way. Like, you want to just have us send you the postcards, and you go, okay, well, I'll just pay 80 bucks for this mail route, 80 bucks for this mail route. Do whatever you want if you wanted to step up. Otherwise, we'll do it with the donations, and we're going to target all of my neighborhood. We're going to target this entire county. We're going to target, people in Miami. We're going to target big, areas where there's a lot of people. I mean, that's got to be one of the most basic things of marketing, right? High traffic, high volume, more eyes. It's just that, it all comes down to ROI. What can we all collectively afford? What's best? I think we got the postcards down to like 28 cents if we get large enough orders, right?
Have you seen any, like, been tracking any stats as far as holders go to be able to see how effective it is?
The Togash and Vic, and I believe Nico, they've been kind of working on. Abed's coming with some ideas on how to do it too, but yeah, there's ways to do it, the ways they've done it before, but it's almost like, why? Because the data that we can really pull is not enough, and God only knows how accurate.
Yeah, it's hard to see, what came from that versus other events that came up, but it would be interesting if you could show like a positive like lineup. Okay, since we started mailing them.
It's ridiculous numbers though. I think the last one I remember seeing in the Telegram was like, out of like 5,000, only 8 were scanned. But that doesn't mean they're not effective, right? That only means 8 were scanned. How many go, oh, I remember just hex.com, and I'm just going to type it in 2 days later. Just no way to tell.
8 were scanned. What do you mean 8 were scanned?
QR code.
Oh, okay. So there's a QR code on the postcard.
Yeah. We got QR codes on the postcards.
So you have tracking for that. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've tried that. I believe it's still on there, but there is a QR code on the duck magnets.
Nice.
And that actually works. I was like, holy moly.
So yeah, talk about the duck magnets. What's that about?
Well, I don't know if you're a Jeep lover, but Jeep lovers, they love to duck each other, and they like leave rubber duckies on their Jeeps.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So somebody made a duck magnet and said, you've been ducked by a hexagon here for 38% APY. And there's way too many people with too much money that have like nice Jeeps around here, right? Like, these are the kind of people that they've never seen the mud with their Jeep, Oh,
okay, yeah.
$60,000 with a 6-inch lift, shiny as can be.
There's those Jeepicans, and then there's the other Jeepicans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There are definitely some old school Jeeps around here, but I'm not touching them. I got respect for that.
Yeah.
I'll go talk to them. I'll go talk to them when they come back, and we'll enter through the car Jeep route to get to the crypto.
Right. Man, I got ideas coming. I'm gonna hold all. I have one idea I'm gonna bring up in a second, but I want to get the question from UFO. Hex token Christmas cards. What do you think about that? Like holiday cards in general.
Okay, that's a good idea, actually.
I mean, maybe on postcards going out.
Talked about Christmas cards.
Well, maybe the postcards going out in December. Maybe they got like a Santa Claus or something on them.
I will bring that up.
Just an idea. That's a good idea, UFO. One idea I just came up with when you said the duck thing and kind of like gamification a little bit, it made me think of Pokemon Go and how people were walking around, all the time like that, trying to find this stuff. What if there was some kind of like hex game where you can find like digital hex tokens or something by walking around and doing it? That just came to me too.
Well, that actually would give us, what if we could, go to this general location, find this decal with the QR code. Now we know, and you make them scan it, make them find that. Maybe then we give them $50 a hex, or you know what I mean? But that's a good idea
Yeah.
too. Appreciate
If you scan this QR code, then
Yeah.
you'll get like, somebody will give you like, I don't know, like $50 worth of hex. I don't know, something like
Yeah.
that. If you're like the first one to scan it.
Give you, or give you $5 Watsa or something, right?
Yeah. The Watts too. Yeah, a hex, and then we have this NFT ecosystem, and you'll get a hex. It's like hex NFT. You don't just say Watts.
Yeah, get a
Hex
stake of
NFT.
class. We can literally give away anything. People love free shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Steven said create a front end for hex that is postcard specifically, QR code easy. Okay. So like when they scan the QR code, it says, okay, you scan this postcard thing, and then like it's, just gives them some like landing page to talk about hex maybe. Yeah, that's another idea.
yeah, I think the QR code, I'm not sure exactly. I think it does go to hex. I think the QR code that I've seen goes to hex.com, because that's just what we're trying to push, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. So, but if you had a landing page where it's like, and you have a button claim free hex NFT,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
that puts
forward,
their email address into this list of people, and then you contact one and be like, hey, here's your free what's NFT, and then that could be an idea. Do some geocaching. That's what I was talking about. I think some kind of gamification, and to get people to go search and like actually motivate them to click the scan the code and all that stuff. Maybe even that. Maybe if you say you create a QR code, and if you put above the QR code, scan this to win a free NFT, and they scan the code, and then you get notified. But somehow like you need to track their information, right? Maybe it takes them to a landing page. It's like, all right, give us your email address, and then we'll send you an NFT. If you're
just give me your wallet address and your seed phrase, and it's good.
Maybe not the seed phrase part. But just like some way to track it, and then be like, okay, you can, we know who to reward. You've been entered in the NFT lottery, and we'll notify you if you were, pick one of them and send them the NFT, and then boom, something like that. Cinematic Euphoria. I own a printing company in the UK. I can do double-sided A5 gloss for 12 cents, way cheaper than your quote.
Nice. We need a UK person that can get to the UK. I've reached out to a couple of my UK friends, and they're more or less just like, I don't got time for it.
Yeah, you got to be
not that
interested
they don't want
in, like,
to, right?
time.
But they just you got to have some time. It's definitely.
Well, Cinematic Vision or Cinematic Euphoria, reach out to David James at David James 1 on Twitter.
Yeah, or join our Telegram, t.me hex postcards.
They have the Telegram as well.
Yeah, just get involved. If we got Anton in Australia, that'd be great. It's literally just, I've put a few bucks in. A lot of people have put a lot more in, and the community will ultimately pay the small amount of funds that we're putting in back, but we are giving the most valuable thing we have, right, is our time. And that, for me, I give that away to Hex for free, right, because it's going to help all of us.
Yeah. Oh, this is a PulseChain launch question, I think. At launch, some say wait for the dip before buying. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, just to answer this real quick, that's basically what happens every time there's a launch. It launches, people buy it up real quick, and then it gets dumped because the price goes too high too quickly. So it happens in every single other thing. Why wouldn't it happen to PulseChain? But the only thing with that is the caveat is, with PulseChain, there's so many people who miss the sack phase. That's the only thing that's different about this. So many people missed it, and so many people wish they bought more. So will it be different with PulseChain? Yeah. If there's ever going to be different, it'll be different with this one. But I still expect there to be some kind of dip. How long before it gets bought up? That's a different question.
Yeah.
Somebody said,
You know,
good
I would
question
like to
here.
think I would like to think that cool, yeah, I'll sell that somewhere on the 10 to 50x up and then catch that you know, just below or just above sack price dip and you know, triple my coins, you know, and then ride it out for
You can't have enough pulse chain. You can't have enough.
I'm not doing any of that. Like I tried to do that with my Ethereum. I tried to do that with XRP back in the day. I tried to trade and I still dork around with a few bucks here and there just because why not, right? But nothing like this bags. These
There's,
bags over here, you just are going to pay my bills every month. I'll just ration out myself like a little allowance.
yeah. There's a difference in being 10% degen and 95% degen. That's one's healthy, one's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would a newbie understand technology like wallet or NFT? I would say the latter. I think the 8monkeys, all the monkey JPEG stuff. I think people NFTs have been on the news so much. I think people generally see
Yeah.
them as something of value. You know, whether they are or not is a different story. But like people are familiar enough with NFT wallet, maybe not NFT. I would bet they would understand what that is.
Dude, Jerry with the treasures. Love it.
Treasures.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
dude, if you wanna, so Jerry's a local Washington State Hexagon.
Awesome.
And you got me thinking about some ideals, man. Because we got a lot. We do, pretty much monthly meetups now, and we got a bowling meetup tomorrow. Gonna be so fun. If they don't screw me on the, I'm not gonna go into the story, but like, oh,
Come
just
on, let's
these
hear it. Let's hear
events.
a story.
No, they're just like, I made it. You make a reservation, you tell them an estimated number of people, and then they're like, and then maybe there's less people than we got confirmed coming. So okay, you expect to get a little bit of refund, right? You expect that, okay, you're not gonna have to pay as much because you're not servicing as many people. By the way, Jerry doesn't know anything about this, so this is funny. He's learning about it now. And then I was like, okay, so we're gonna have maybe 2 or 3 less people. What's the total now? And they're like, oh, it's the same, but you have all this extra credit. And I'm like, no, that sounds like you're ripping me off. I have less people. You're servicing less people. We should pay less. I don't care about your credit. I've already bought the games already.
Mhm.
I'm like, so I'm trying not to let it affect my day. I'm just like, I'm going to choke somebody tomorrow. I have a feeling to choke somebody. Do not rip me.
Yeah.
It's not even about the money. I don't care about the money. Like it's the principle. Do not rip people. Like who's okay with that? Who is
Yeah.
okay with like, oh no, you just have like, $200
Store
for the
credit.
credit with us.
Yeah,
And
nobody.
they literally said you got to forfeit it if you don't use it. I'm like,
Yeah, if you
who
don't
is
come
okay with
through,
this? Like nobody's going to say, oh yeah, and that sounds fine. Nobody's going to say that.
nobody's
So
okay with it. The customer service or
I already told him tomorrow. I said, get it. I said, get manager involved because we're going to fix this. We're going to
well,
fix
it's
it.
like
I'm going to be very, very nice and polite, but we're going to fix this. And
yeah,
you don't
like
want that 1-star review. You don't want that. And I'll write a very honest review if you don't treat me correctly. So.
yeah. Like I complained. I do a lot of my complaining on Twitter because I could figure I could just tag them, and if they see it, fine, and if not, everybody else sees it.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Um, but I got an Uber the other day, and they charged me a $5 cancellation fee, and dude never even picked me up. Like, and actually, no, this wasn't the cancellation fee.
It's happened to me a couple times too.
It was the actual ride. He actually billed me for the ride and never picked me up. And I'm like, and then of course, it's 3 to 7 business days to get it back. And I'm like, you pulled it from my account like that. You can put it back like that. What the fuck is this 3 to 7 days? Like, and that's with anybody nowadays. It's like once they got your money, it's pulling teeth to get it back when they F up.
I know. I told him one time, I told Uber, I'm like, hey, if you don't fix this, like the guy canceled the ride halfway through and you charge me a fee. You don't fix this, I'm like deleting my app. And they didn't even care. So I deleted the app and I started using Lyft for years after that. So
well, Lyft pays their drivers better. And they're I don't think they have a quality selection of cars usually because they can kind of take anybody, but
yeah,
they pay their drivers better.
Just to wrap this up, same thing happens with weight interceptions. I'm not paying it. I'm not paying it, man. I don't. It's not right. It's not right. You service 10 people, I'll pay for 10 people. You service 8 people, I'll pay for 8. Like Anyways, hex
Hex
cardboard
cardboard.
beer coasters for pubs. I like that. I never thought
Okay.
about that. Wow,
Okay.
it's a good
Coasters.
idea. Because you
Coasters
put,
is a
where
good
you looking?
idea.
You're looking at the table. You putting your drink down. You putting on and off.
Oh,
They already have
yeah.
advertisements on them all the time, anyways. Usually a beer company. Why not Hex.com coasters?
Yeah.
I like that.
I always had a thought, not always, but for a long time I've had a thought and I never did anything about it. The urinal, not the cupcakes, but the ones like the mats, but have the opposing team in like your stadium, whatever that stadium had, whatever that team has, so that you go in there and you're pissing on the other team.
Hmm.
I always thought that was a
That's
funny idea.
funny. I don't want to be pissing on Hex.com though.
Right. No, you don't. But
Uh,
it's just other things like where are you constantly looking at? That was just, it was always a funny
maybe
thing to me.
maybe you have like, maybe it's a urinal thing where you're pissing on like
Bitcoin.
something that's something that's like not Hex, and then at the bottom you have like save yourself Hex.com, something like that. You can pull that off maybe.
Nah, that's too much time, energy, and
Yeah.
effort. Like that's
Hey,
what I try to stick to. Like I'm not just out there like throwing stickers and decals on every single thing I come across.
let's
But
talk about that. Let's talk about stick.
um,
How do you do stickers correctly? Let's talk about that.
well, stickers just need for it depend. It really does depend. Like for I put some on some storefronts, right? But you don't usually want those right there in the way to disturb the business that is actually there with their phone numbers and stuff like that. So just off in the corner. But anywhere where people with stickers, like I put them on bikes in the rent bikes in DC. I put them on the Lime Birds. Um, I will discreetly put little stickers in certain places. But now that I've figured out a few other places, like that back alley that's behind a whole entire one section of a shopping center, but that's a long line of Dunkin' Donuts that are sitting there every morning waiting, staring at a garbage can. What are they going to be doing? They already know what coffee they're going to get. When you push the buttons to go into the car wash, sticker. Because you're going to see it, you're going to push your code in, and you're going to sit there and wait for the car wash to whoever's in front of you, and you're going to sit there in your car. Right?
That's
high visibility areas. That's just wherever the traffic makes sense. Like we're all consumers. Act as if you were a consumer. I'm no marketing specialist. I didn't go to college or anything, but I like to buy shit. Right? So what would be eye-popping? What's appealing? What's borderline legal?
Be careful out there. Don't get yourself in trouble slapping stickers, dude.
Right.
Just
No,
use common sense. But yeah,
You know.
there's some gray areas too. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's like I've got an idea that I'll keep, specifics out of for if someday it happened and, somebody's feathers got ruffled. I had nothing to do with it. But, what's each state's law on illumination? Right.
Putting some like some not what do you call it, like LED, like Hex.com LED type stuff.
Yeah, or large neon signs, projection type things. Sure, and that even might get down into city laws, which, well, if you're close enough to this building, you can't have more than 4,000 lumens or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
There's a lot of gray area, and as long as everything is harmless, I think even if the authorities were to arrive, it could be simply discussed.
as good publicity as it could be, having some somebody get caught putting some Hex stuff somewhere, and they're like the newspaper is like blah blah blah. I got was caught putting hex.com on
Yeah. I
car
mean, there's
windows or
that too,
something
but
like.
that absolutely cannot be me.
Yeah, no, I mean just anyone. Yeah, everyone don't use
But
common
if
sense.
there's anybody
Don't
out
mess
there
stuff
that
up.
hasn't hit 18 years old yet, you can get this expunged if you're willing to maybe be
Backup
on
plan.
TV for a little bit.
They say no press is what's the phrase? Any press is good press, but
Yeah.
maybe don't sacrifice yourself. Try. There's other ways to do it.
Yeah.
Flyers. What about flyers? What do you think of flyers? Bulletin boards, public places. Put them on,
I
in the
think
windshield of
flyers,
cars. What do you think?
we've been toying around with that too, and or making a cheaper postcard. Um, I haven't really gotten into flyers. I would like to see, and I think we will come up with something maybe a little bit smaller, maybe not as glossy. For I don't know if you saw when at the charging booth, like just a little, in the middle of the mall. It's got 5 seats where everybody would
Mm,
go to sit and charge. Just left 5 of them there. Did they need to be the high gloss, more expensive ones? No.
mm,
So it's we look to save money too. We're cheap. We're not just like, don't get me wrong. I would love to see somebody drop 3 million, right, into a wallet and go, cool, we're getting 15 seconds at the Super Bowl, right? That's the ultimate.
that would be great.
If we can get 15 seconds for 30 or for $3 million on at the Super Bowl, that would be amazing. And it's completely doable, I imagine, through this community. But
Hex Wells, you hear that? Help us out.
ROI, do we need to? No, we can. The $3 I spent on a couple of the signs besides the ones Karen took, they've been sitting up there for 3-4 months. That is massive, massive opportunity. Even one person goes $50, boom, paid for.
Yeah. Just on this one, putting flyers at local community colleges. Yes, actually,
Yeah,
that's so
that's on the
colleges.
agenda for me at least. I know a couple of the guys in the group are talking about the colleges because I'm right next to George Mason, and I can actually get down to uh, one of the community colleges. I can get down to Georgetown, the prestigious places around here as well.
Yeah. Well, now that we got the gig economy and stuff, and you can just hire people to do this, if you just get them to make the
Yes.
flyers, or you make the flyers, give it to them, give them a little bit of money, pay them to
Yeah,
go out for the entire day and put flyers out.
dude, absolutely. I've actually the freelance company I get my jobs through, I had a thought to somewhat legitimize what we're doing is have someone have their own business because somebody does. And I almost applied for it. It was like $15 if you do this one neighborhood to just pass flyers out. I almost took
Hmm.
it just so I could pass my own out at the same time, right?
Hmm.
Or the
Nice.
postcards. And I forgot where I was going with that fucking point.
It's all right. Somebody
Um,
mentioned this too: the small ink stamp on money. Somebody did Coffee do that, or somebody was doing that?
there's somebody out there that makes the stamps. I'm pretty sure that somebody was doing it. And that's another beautiful thing about hexpostcards.com is it's not just, hey, donate some money and here's kind of what we're doing. We literally just promote everyone else that's already has stuff out there,
Mm-hmm.
from stickers to merch to stamp makers. I mean, if they're a part of the ecosystem in the community and they got their own stuff, and why wouldn't we, right?
Oh, crowdfund the Super Bowl for Hex.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Let's get a suite.
maybe that'd be fun if we get a bunch of money together. Yeah, 15 seconds of Richard twerking will be the talk of the entire country. Would that be
Halftime
the
show.
15 seconds? Would that be
Halftime show.
Richard at the halftime show? Okay, I'm on board with that. I'm on board with that. Prada, 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 Prada shoes, Prada shirt.
I don't know who made that shit, but that was fucking hilarious.
It was amazing. 125K views or something like that. Amazing.
Yeah, 15 bucks an hour is
Yeah.
about what they pay. And, you know, at some point, if it got relatively good, big enough, I could turn around and do that. I will literally, because I do have my own company, I can literally post as the job, buyer and say 15 bucks an hour, hit these neighborhoods, show me at least 20 pictures of, different
Yeah.
mailboxes,
That's a good point. You got to get
right?
them to send you pictures. You
Yeah.
got to get proof.
Yeah.
Otherwise, are they
Because I
doing
did that
it?
when I was like 10 years old. I used to just walk around and do them, and about or a quarter of the way through, just dump them in the sewer.
Yes. If you hire anyone to do it, ask them to send you pictures. If you get them to do, 200 flyers, get them to at least send you, 50 pictures or something like that.
Hey, UFO,
Uh,
they're all
that,
on. They
that's a
should
good
all
question.
be on hexpostcards.com. You can get the graphics, the PDFs, everything if you wanted to print them all yourself. Join the Telegram, and if I think there might be some ideas that were only shared in there. Literally, we could do. You guys can do everything yourself. Could donate. Could support any which way you are capable of.
I just want to answer this question. It's been a while, and I want to circle back because I know we were on the marketing. But real quick,
Yeah.
David James, which one first? 100x, hex, PLSX, or PLS?
I'm gonna say PLS. I'm gonna say PLS is gonna be the first one because
Why do you think so?
well, there's a lot of people, even that sacked a lot of money for PLSX that don't have any PLS and they want it, right? I believe the supply is a lot lower too. I don't really think that matters, especially with the buy and burn function. But I think we as a community have a ton of PLSX in our bags, and PLSX isn't really like talked about, right? Everybody, you see me, we don't really talk about PLSX that much. We talk about PLS. I mean, between us Hexicans, yes, we talk about PLSX. We do these kinds of things, but everybody else, they don't know what it is. They might have heard of PulseChain, right? They've
It's
heard of
easier to
Hex.
like reason about PulseChain than PLSX.
Right. PulseChain. Oh, it's the new network. It's
Mm.
on, CoinGecko, or it's on whoever is going to be listing it, right? It's what's visible and what's talked about most. When's PulseChain? When's PulseChain? When's PulseChain? When's PulseChain? Nobody's saying when
That's a
PulseX.
good
When
point.
PulseX.
That's a good point. I like that. When people are saying when PulseChain, that just by that factor, like it's going to be on their mind as like the top thing that they're looking forward
Right.
to even more than. I mean, you could argue PulseX is, it's different tokenomics are better. You could argue that,
Yeah.
but what's on the top of everyone's mind when PulseChain?
Yeah. I mean, I personally like PulseX better. Just personal thing. I don't have, other than maybe some donated or gifts, maybe coming of a little bit of PulseChain, but I would definitely want some, right? I want a good sized bag of that too.
Yeah, I was going back to this. The Hex, his buddy does it. Passes out flyers. He gets tracked with GPS. Wow. Okay. I mean, I that's one way to do it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
that way to do it too. I get tracked if I'm on site or not too.
It is.
It's a little bit, I can see it being a little bit tougher with doing the door-to-door thing or mailbox, but
Right.
yeah.
Oh,
glad.
Apostases, dude, I'm from DC. Let's get a crew together once a month. Go around Tag City with Hex stickers.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Hell yeah, hit me up.
Yeah, at David James 1 on Twitter and Telegram as well.
Yeah.
What about books? That's one idea that's came up. I think some people have done too, is donate, buying some of the Hex books super cheap on Amazon, like $5 or something, right? Maybe $6.
Well, I don't know if anybody caught it because I've only done it once and part of my mission failed, but whatever. It turned into some stickering of the bikes all around the city.
Uh,
Um, yeah, Matt Garabedian, the Hex Phenom, he gave me 50 books. So what I'm going to do is
hmm.
I'm going to take the VRE. The VRE is the Virginia Railway Express. It's not like a metro or a subway. It's just a commuter train. So we've got all these lobbyists, well, probably not lobbyists, but we got all these corporate type federal government um, workers that, you know, pay $8 each way, right?
Hmm.
That's a pretty expensive commute for just sitting on a train, right?
Yeah.
And there's other options, but it's a very nice one. And just literally leaving, you know, I haven't put any stickers on the, but just leaving a book. Just
Yeah.
leave it on the seat. I got 50 books. I've put 4 or 5 on the one train, and then I've given a few away. Literally just, hey bud, sitting at sitting
You're like
for
the
at the
preacher
train
on the
stop.
corner. You're like, here, save yourself. Take it.
No, I don't do it like that, man. That's one thing people should really start to, and I'm not judging who is doing what or what isn't, but I see people, especially in this COVID era, afraid to even say hello. It's like,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm a human. Hello. Right.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to talk to anybody about anything. You don't have to always be trying to onboard somebody. Like, I know a lot of things about a lot of things, and I'm sure everybody else does too. If you have the opportunity and you can recognize something quickly, like, oh, dude, you got a Jeep. I like Jeeps. Oh, cool. And you just start talking about Jeeps or
Yeah.
whatever. You're at the gym and you're talking to your gym guy. It's just being able to communicate with somebody, right?
Well, you can do that
Effectively.
with.
But what was I forgot who was saying something and how to put it. Um, you you just have to speak, right? You could literally have something to relate to another person about, and it meshes and goes from there. It's the willingness to just say hi, basically.
Yeah. And if it turns into a hex conversation later on, that's fine. But if not,
Yeah,
you're socializing.
right.
You're feeling, you're getting, you're talking to
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Speaking of talking to people, one of the coolest things I've seen for marketing was I forget who it was, but they would do an interview with somebody, and they would ask them about crypto, ask them about hex, all this stuff. And at the end of the interview, they give them $20 just to talk to them. Just be, oh, thanks. Here you go. Here's $20. Go do whatever you want with it. I think people really remember that when you give them something, especially something they see as valuable after you talk to them, they remember that
Mhm.
conversation much
Yeah,
more likely. Now, $20, it's a little hard to scale. You're going to need a
right.
lot of $20 bills to really get that out there. But talking to people,
Yeah.
interviews, what do you think on strategies like that?
I'm not a I did the one interviewing sort of thing for
I remember
for
that. I
Dixon
remember.
Piper, which
Yeah.
that was my first time doing anything like that. That felt super uncomfortable, but I watched myself after. I was like, damn, I killed that. That was pretty good, all in
Yeah.
one
Yeah. You
shot.
did good. Hmm.
Um, that's another thing where you just feel you got to be able to feel the conversation. You got to be able to feel what the presence of somebody else, what's going on. Is it appropriate? Right. But that's another thing, like business cards. Business cards are super cheap. You can always, you can always have those with those. You can literally, if it comes to that, throw them a business card. We got the aluminum ones um, that are like really nice. So if you ran into a baller, you drop the kind of like the crypto.com card ones, like the baller, like ones, right? You drop a hex one on them.
Mm.
I've seen those be pretty effective as well.
The metal, somebody gave me, I think it was Vets for Crypto, gave me a metal hex business card. I was like,
Yeah,
whoa, somebody
yeah,
gave this to me. I would go to that website, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
So yeah, I think it's hard to scale if you're giving people actual like direct money, unless somebody puts $1 million in
Yeah,
your bank account and you just like get a whole bunch of 20s.
you
But
know, I that's definitely run through my mind. What if, somehow we gave them what if they even just went through the whole wallet process with us, and as soon as they did that, I'm giving you $20.
ooh, I got lemonade stand now. Lemonade stand, but like ask us about crypto, and you got your laptop, you got
Yeah,
hex.com right there. You're sitting in a public place, you're talking to people about it, you're signing them up with wallets. There you go.
yeah,
That's an ideal. Yeah, every Saturday farmers market. I guess it's kind of late
yep.
in the season for farmers markets, but in the
No, I think the
summertime,
farm. That's one thing I'm kind of upset because I bought the tent, and it's still going to get used, just not probably very soon at the farmers market. We had farmers market today, and it was like 42 degrees,
yeah,
and
I
it's
say that
literally
probably
right down the
October
street,
is
right next to the train station. I do my burpees at. It's like perfect.
yeah, and we're kind of they probably won't be in November. I say they'll start winding down, but just any
Yeah,
place where you can go, any festival, any event, any
yeah,
farmers market, whatever, where you can go, you get a booth. You just talk to, like if I went to some festival and they had a hex.com booth, I would lose my mind. I'd be like, oh my god, that is amazing. Like somebody, whatever you pay $100, $200 to get into there, get your booth, set everything up. All you do is talk to people, show them what crypto is, talk to them about DeFi. And
yeah,
that's a great one if you like being out there in public.
yeah. And I'm totally gonna do that. And I a lot of the times.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, my sweet prince.
I brought a new game.
You got a new game?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What'd you get? One sec. Oh boy. Come here.
So it says, who gets the most cherries?
Who gets the
Hello.
most cherries?
Yeah. Let's open up and play with it.
Okay, can you give me a few minutes?
Okay.
Thank you.
The cutie.
Thanks. I'm sorry, where were we?
Well, I was gonna. We are wrapping up because you got family stuff too. Yeah, I got to eat dinner here in a few minutes, but I want two other things I got.
Yeah, but
I want to get through before we leave.
had a thought. I was saying something.
Just like being out talking to people. We were talking about that.
But I
Have a booth, hex.com booth.
Yeah, I thought about other things. I was going to do burpees on the Capitol lawn one morning. There's literally just anything we can do. You know what I mean? And we could. That's
Burpees with hex.com across your shirt.
Well, in my jersey.
Okay.
My tank top jersey over there.
Okay.
There's just so much that I realized that I could do. And it's, don't get me wrong, I spend a lot more time than the average person, but literally to and from, on a walk with my son today, I dropped probably 4 magnets and 2 stickers.
It's a good idea to keep the stuff in your car or with you in your bag or whatever. And just when
well,
you're out,
yeah.
opportunistic,
And that's what one thing business cards are good for.
Yep.
But basics are high visibility or high traffic.
Yeah.
The bigger and the bolder, that's why I was wondering about the illumination.
The bold and the beautiful. The bigger and the bolder.
That's
you got me thinking about the soap operas.
That nighttime kind of thing, to just you're forced to see it like a Batman signal in the sky or something.
Dude, if I saw hexagon in the sky,
dude, how badass would that be?
Be pretty. Somebody brought up hex envelopes, like hex branded envelopes, the other day. I thought that was pretty interesting. Wouldn't be too hard to make. And then, but what do you do with them? You kind of just leave them in office buildings. Like, how do you get people to use them?
I mean, who uses envelopes?
It's one thing, yeah. The envelopes. A lot of times, everything's paid online.
I get an envelope. Usually, it's a bill. I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's Chat. Let us know if you have any ideas on envelopes. Yeah, it's kind of hard to make this one go really far. I can see there's a case, but it's hard to make it these days. It's useful. indirect admin, social media manager. Like, what if, everyone's like, Richard, you need to get a social media marketing team, all this stuff. Maybe one day he'll do it. I don't know why he hasn't done it yet. Maybe one day he'll do it. What if there was a crowdfunded campaign to just be like, all right, maybe they don't speak on his behalf, but they just like, all they do is 24/7. You got people clipping videos, pushing out on social media. They create a bunch of new channels for Hex and Richard Hart stuff.
But I mean, isn't that what we're doing anyway? We are the community. We are the people. We're the marketing team. We're the YouTubers. We're the Twitter guys. We're,
Sure.
Dude, if we needed to, and let's say I stood up a site and I was like, all right, guys, I got a new site. I would love for y'all to, just go ping it. You're my Fiverr to go hit my website. Give me some clicks. Hey guys, y'all mind hitting this? Cool. Just give me some clicks, right?
You got to do it. Yeah, you got to be careful because they have algorithms that can try to figure out if they're organic or not. But
right,
but
I'm not. It's not like I'm going to Fiverr and getting an Indian server farm. Just bots. Like this isn't Zen or something.
Subtle Zen drop. Yeah, maybe there's some ways to do it. Maybe it's not just clipping and stuff. Although if we doubled the amount of Hex and Richard Hart content that came out, I wouldn't be mad at that. I think that could use something.
I've been trying to get my channel back on, and I've been trying to come up with my own intro and stuff like that. I just got so much. Don't get me wrong, I am slacking a bit in terms of my development on my 87 projects because I'm doing all 87 at once, right? Instead of going 81, 80, 79, I'm squirrel, right? But mine's going to be geared differently, but it's definitely going to talk about it, right? There's going to be episodes or clips from just me talking about it because that's a big part of my life, no matter what I talk about now.
If you don't clip it, don't put it out there, then nobody's going to see it. So that's right. That's part of what motivates me to go through clip hell and thumbnail and thumb hell, as I like to call it. Those are great strategies. I think we had at least 10 strategies there. I gotta say that was
there was good suggestions from the chat because I only had a couple more like stuff that I've actually been talking about.
Good job, chat. I think you might have got us to 10 to 12. I have to go back and count, but that's a lot of strategies. Anyways, we're gonna wrap up on some PulseChain questions, but very good discussion on marketing strategies. I think everyone has everything they need to go out there and be effective. Like we covered so much just in like.
And if you have questions, reach out to anybody. Like I said, the postcard group, anybody in there can answer. Reach out to me.
Let's keep the train going. Yeah. Anderson. V3 test
books. We were talking about books. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No,
that's what I just remembered.
Books. Yeah. You want to finish? You got anything on book sales? I mean, you could also. Well, I would say on books real quick. Donate them to. You can buy them and donate them to your the used bookstores, whatever. Say I don't want any money. Like I just want to donate these books. They'll put them in their collection, and then they'll sell them to people. And now you got Hex.com on the bookshelf right there.
Bookmarks.
Oh, bookmarks. Yeah. Drop them in books. That's something people don't throw away very often either, because if they just have a book and it's got a bookmark, they'll just keep it. And no matter what it could be like blah blah insurance company. Nope, keep it in.
Literally, they never throw bookmarks away.
There's your bonus. What
do you read?
Bookmarks.
Real quick,